In today's video, we're going to talk about what happens to the toss arm once the ball is released. Some players like Ivo Karlovic or Andy Roddick will toss the ball, and once the ball has been released, the arm will continue moving up, and then it will actually start moving backwards behind their head like this. And this is usually done in conjunction with the entire body moving forward. So while the weight is placed on the front leg, the hip usually will go a little bit inside the court, and then the non-dominant arm will go behind the head in this way. Other players such as Federer will have a completely vertical position of the toss arm. So what happens on these type of serves is that the arm usually travels parallel to the baseline, and then once it has reached this position, it doesn't go any further. And players like John Isner and Nick Kyrgios will have a diagonal toss, and their toss arm doesn't go quite to the vertical position. So they will toss the ball diagonally into the court, and the arm stops about right here. All these techniques work, but they all have their own little pitfalls. So here are the mistakes that I see at the recreational level. When you try to copy the Andy Roddick, Ivo Karlovic technique, where the toss arm goes behind the head like this, what I see is that most players will have a difficult time tossing the ball inside the court when this is the case. And furthermore, a lot of players will actually end up tossing the ball behind the baseline. So my advice is that if you are trying to achieve the toss arm going past your head, you cannot do it with a straightforward toss when the toss arm is going into the court, or even a diagonal toss, because what's going to happen is as you're tossing the ball diagonally into the court, it's going to be very difficult to stop at the correct moment, and usually players hold on to the ball too long and end up throwing the ball behind like this. Another very common mistake at the recreational level is that players will stop their toss arm once the ball has been released. So they toss the ball and the arm stops about at the head level. And while this will give you some decent control on the toss, you will have a very difficult time in getting the shoulders to be in a cartwheeling position. So you're not going to be able to get that non-dominant shoulder above the dominant shoulder if the arm stops at your head level. The easiest way to toss the ball on the serve is the diagonal toss technique, because with this technique we have a very easy time to throw the ball inside the baseline, and we also have naturally a little bit of an arc where the ball is moving right to left for right-handers. Now when it comes to releasing the ball, you will have to make sure that the arm does continue to go up a little bit. Now it doesn't have to be all the way vertical. You can stop right here a la Kyrgios and John Isner, but as long as the arm is continuing to go up after the ball has been released, this will help you in creating this cartwheeling effect where the non-dominant shoulder is above the dominant shoulder. So the primary objective of the toss arm continuing to go up after the ball has been released is the positioning of the shoulders. When we do this type of toss where the arm is continuing to go up, it makes it natural that the non-dominant shoulder gets above the dominant shoulder. And now what will happen as a result of that, you will be able to utilize a very important power source, and you definitely should not neglect that. Now, should you have the arm continue to go up all the way vertical or even past your head? In my opinion, this is not so important. It is more important that you continue to go up and make sure the toss is not inhibited and starts to go behind you. In my experience, I see a lot of recreational players who have a difficulty getting the toss inside the baseline, and their toss lands very consistently behind the baseline. And what you're looking for is a slight stretching of the non-dominant side once the ball has been released. And you're going to feel it. So once you release the ball and you continue going up, naturally as the racket starts going up, you're going to feel a stretching on this side. And that is exactly what you're looking for as far as what the left arm is supposed to do after the ball has been released. So don't forget to use the non-dominant arm even after the ball has been released. It's a very important technical element of the serve and can help you to serve with more power. If you have any questions, please leave a comment in the section below. I'll be happy to respond. Hit that like button and please subscribe if you haven't already. I'll see you next time.